If you can't stop thinking about work, it might be because your brain never received the signal that work is over. In this video, I'm going to tell you what's happening when you're replaying that conversation from work while you're unloading the dishwasher, and share an overlooked tool that may help fix the problem. So tell me how many of these apply to you. You're halfway through dinner before you realize you have not tasted a single bite because you are replaying conversations or thinking about how to strategize about that problematic team member. Or you're walking the dog while mentally planning your work meeting tomorrow. Or by the time your head hits the pillow, you've clocked an additional 3 hours of work with the laptop closed by simply thinking about it. You haven't been present with anyone at your house. If you've ever wondered why it is so hard to stop thinking about work, this may be the missing piece. We make a lot of assumptions these days. One of them is that I just need better boundaries. And while that might be true, I don't think that's the root of the problem. We might also think that we need to just stop overthinking, as if that is something as simple as saying so. Or we think that this is simply part of being a high functioning or a high performer in your profession today. And I feel like while we tell these things to ourselves, there is an underlying mistake. We are trying to solve a psychological problem with more thinking. Hi, I'm Dr. Dawn Browning, somatic scientist and pranayama teacher, and I help high performers do their very best work in their jobs and in their businesses while also taking excellent care of their mental, emotional, and physical well-being. And hey, I have a career that I love while I'm building my business. So all of this applies to me. I've lived through it. I know what you're going through. Here's an idea. The biggest cost of work isn't work itself. It isn't the hours that you're at the office or that you put in working on your business. It's that plus all of the time in your days, evenings, weekends, how much of your life that your brain continues to work even while work is finished. That is the true cost of work. With the constant thoughts of work intruding in your home life, in your relationships, in your downtime, you're losing the chance to really leave work behind, to have a clear boundary. You are losing the mental space that you need to think deeply, to do your deep work. You may be losing patience with your loved ones and the people around you. You're losing that evening that you were looking forward to. You wake up carrying yesterday into today. And eventually, you start wondering if you're living the life that you actually want to be living. Any of this resonate? Tell me yes so below. But there is a different way. What if the answer isn't trying to stop thinking about work, but rather giving your brain the signal that it needs that work is over, that I am transitioning, that this is closing, and I am open to doing other things without work intruding on those thoughts or times with others, or even time by yourself. What if your evenings became yours again instead of extensions of work? What if you had more of yourself available for this life that you've worked so hard to build? What if you had the mental space available to enjoy time with your loved ones, your family, your children, your dog, your cat, your girlfriends? You create enough mental quiet to think deeply instead of living in constant reaction mode and go, go, go mode. What if you wake up with more capacity because you enjoyed better sleep? Your brain actually received the opportunity to remove the metabolic waste products and recover from the day that you had. These are things that are definitely possible when we begin to make clear boundaries or transitions between work and what comes after. So your brain is trainable. You aren't stuck in this pattern forever. I know that everyone says that our attention spans are shrinking and that we've lost the capacity for deep work, and I refuse to allow that to be the case for me. So I'm taking control of the opportunity to retrain my brain, create new neural pathways. And one of the most overlooked tools that we can use to train our brain is aroma, is our sense of smell. Because our sense of smell is uniquely connected to learning, memory, and emotions. This is the perfect example of smelling apple pie and thinking of your grandmother, or smelling the smell of pipe tobacco and immediately thinking about your grandfather. Or it might be the smell of citrus and that summer that you spent in Florida as a teenager. These are associations within what we call the limbic system of the brain. And the sense of smell is the very first sense that we develop in the womb. It is the very first sense that we know the smell of our mother. And so it has this very short, direct connection to the base of the brain through the olfactory nerve. Like, it completely avoids other neural pathways to get the signal to the brain. It goes straight to the limbic system. It goes to the amygdala in the brain. And so this is the tool that I am suggesting that we use to retrain the brain to end the workday, to consciously transition from work to home. So this is the retraining of the brain to say, I'm ending work here. The rest of my day shall proceed without these thoughts intruding. If you'd like to dive deeper into the science behind all of this, I've created a plain English summary of the research that I reference in this video and that I reviewed and read as I prepared for Slide Into Smooth Evenings. It really is remarkable when you realize that scent influences your brain in so many ways. It enhances your memory, it increases your mental clarity. They've shown that the part of your brain that is influenced with your sense of smell actually gets larger with olfactory training or the use of aroma. It's really remarkable. There's all kinds of really cool insights that I put together in the research report that you can find a link where you can opt in and receive that resource in the video description. I cannot wait to hear what you thought about this video. Tell me if you agree with anything that I've shared here, or what are the aromas that you love to use. Also, subscribe so that you can be notified when I put out my next video. And I cannot wait to hear more from you and to share from you in my next video.